Hello, this is My Sweet Mess, and welcome to my kitchen, where every week I make a mess trying new recipes in the pursuit of something sweet. This week, I am excited to try a new to me recipe for blizzard cookies from Sam at Sugar Spun Run, and I'll leave the original recipe in the show notes below. This recipe uses a few ingredients I've never included in a cookie recipe before, and I cannot wait to see how these impact the texture and taste. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's jump right into this bake. For this recipe, the ingredients are listed in weight and volume. I chose to measure the ingredients out by weight using a digital scale because it's more precise. If you don't have a scale, then using a measuring cup is absolutely fine. To get started, we will begin with our mise en place. Mise en place is a French term for putting in place or everything in its place. It's the process of preparing your ingredients and tools before you get started with your bake. For this recipe, you need 1 cup or 226 grams of unsalted butter softened. Because butter is the second largest ingredient by weight in these cookies after flour, I wanted to make sure that I used a European butter. Using European butter in a cookie adds a richer flavor, softer texture, and adds a melt-in-your-mouth quality in the finished cookie. You'll also need 4 ounces or 113 grams of cream cheese softened to room temperature, 1 cup or 200 grams of granulated sugar, half a cup or 100 grams of brown sugar. I used light brown sugar, 1 large egg, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3.5 cups or 440 grams of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of cornstarch, a teaspoon of baking soda. I chose to do half a teaspoon of salt, plus I went ahead and added finishing salt to the top of the cookies once they came out of the oven. You'll also need 1.5 cups of premium white chocolate chips, and 1/4 cup of colorful sprinkles. I ended up using a little more than 1/4 cup because I love the visual impact of the sprinkles, and I used a combination of blue and white sprinkles that I had in the pantry. Now that my ingredients are measured out, let's set everything aside for later and prep our equipment. For this recipe, you'll need a stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment, or a hand mixer in a large mixing bowl. We'll also need a medium bowl, which we will use for the dry ingredients, parchment paper lined cookie sheets, and a cooling rack. We will also need a 2 tablespoon scoop or disher to dish out the cookies, as well as a whisk and a spatula. And that's it! Now that all of our ingredients are measured out and the equipment is prepped, let's get started with our bake. To begin, in a medium-sized bowl, we are going to whisk together the dry ingredients. So into this bowl goes the flour, cornstarch, baking soda, and salt. I have never used cornstarch in cookie dough before, but a quick search says that by adding cornstarch to cookie, it can make them softer, thicker, and chewier, which gives the cookie a nice tender or cakey center. And I'll be honest, that all sounds great to me. Once the dry ingredients are whisked together, we will just set this aside for later. Next, we'll get our stand mixer or the hand mixer in a large bowl and cream together the butter that's softened as well as the cream cheese. And I'm gonna let this go for a few minutes just to make sure that everything is well combined. Once that looks good to me, I will scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl. Then we will add in the granulated sugar and the brown sugar and beat the mixture on high for 2 to 3 minutes or until the mixture is light and fluffy. I'm going to pause a few times throughout the 3 minutes just to scrape down the bottom and the sides of the bowl. Now that the butter, cream cheese, and sugars are well combined and have changed to a lighter color, it's time to add in the egg and beat the mixture until the egg is well combined. Then we will add in the vanilla and again stir to combine. Now it's time to add in the dry ingredients that we prepped earlier. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of the dry ingredients into my mixing bowl and give it a few turns with a spatula just to avoid the flour spilling out of the bowl. Then I'll turn the mixer back on and I'll repeat this process until all of the dry ingredients are integrated into the batter. Now that the batter is complete, I'm going to take the bowl off the mixer and it's time to add in the mix-ins. I've got my white chocolate chips and sprinkles here, so I'm going to add the white chocolate chips into the batter, keeping a small handful of them out of the batter so that I can put them on top of the cookies before they go into the oven. I'm also going to add in some of the sprinkles to the batter as well, and I have some extra sprinkles set to the side so I can decorate the tops of the cookies before they go into the oven. I prefer to stir in the chocolate chips and sprinkles by hand so that the mixer doesn't crunch up the sprinkles. I want to see all those pretty flecks of blue throughout my cookie and keep the integrity of the sprinkle shape. Once the white chocolate chips and the sprinkles have been added to the batter, it's time to cover the bowl and place it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. I've got some plastic wrap here on top of my bowl, and I'm just going to pop this in the fridge. Be back in a bit. And I'm back! I let my dough chill in the fridge for a little over an hour just to make sure it was fully chilled. I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to grab my cookie sheets that are lined with parchment paper and my 2 tablespoon disher, and let's get these cookies prepped and into the oven. So what I'm going to do is scoop and place the dough balls a few inches apart. And once all of my cookies have been placed, I'm going to take a clean flat bottom glass and slightly flatten the cookies. The method that I found that worked best to slightly flatten the cookies and get them to cleanly release from the glass is to put a little bit of plastic wrap around the bottom of the glass. Then you can slightly flatten your cookie and then carefully peel them off of the glass. If you don't have a flat bottom glass, you can also use your impeccably clean hands to flatten the cookies. Once your cookies are flattened slightly, use those leftover chocolate chips and any sprinkles you want to decorate the tops of your cookies. If you have helping hands who are interested in cooking, this would be a great step for them to participate in the recipe. Once your cookies look good to you, pop them into your preheated 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for 8 to 10 minutes or until the edges are just starting to turn a golden brown. My first batch is out of the oven and they look great. I'm going to sprinkle a little finishing salt on top just to add some additional contrast to the sweet white chocolate chips. Then I'm going to let the cookies hang out on the cookie sheet for about 10 minutes before transferring to a cooling rack to cool the rest of the way. I'm going to repeat this exact same process for the rest of my cookies, and I'll be back once everything is all done. And I'm back! And don't these look great? I love the blue sprinkles and the white snowflakes. These are so pretty. I can't wait to give them a taste. And wow, these are wonderful. They are delightfully soft, buttery, rich, and sweet. I think that cornstarch really helped make these cookies have a tender and cakey center. And that cream cheese and white chocolate chips help add a sweet and creamy element that pairs so nicely with that little bit of finishing salt to add a contrast to the cookies. Not only are these cookies delicious, but they look so fun. And they were fun to make. Baking these blizzard cookies would be a great snow day activity if you have kiddos or kids at heart at home. All right, I'm off to find a cup of coffee to go with these delicious cookies. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for being with me here today. And remember, trying new things is messy, but the end result can be pretty sweet. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.